Hey, this is ThegamingNERDZ1. I'm Travis.
Hi. I'm Andrew. Hi.
Welcome to another episode of The Gaming Nerds. What are we talking about today, sir?
Something awesome. Something that will. Something that will.
That something is
That's something.
Halo versus Modern Warfare.
Awesome choice. Awesome choice. That was actually comment on one of our videos.
Pause. The silence. So much hate right now.
So much.
Yeah, that's what people are doing right now. They're probably being like, you're comparing the two most popular multiplayers ever.
Exactly.
In 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
That's a lot to cram in, dude.
I know.
It's like insanely a lot to cram in. So we're focusing on just the multiplayer because if we were to focus on the campaign, that's like
25 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's like we're just comparing opinions as far as why we like an alien race versus humans fighting each other.
So multiplayer just seemed like a better choice just because of that. But with me, I'm more in favor of Call of Duty. I mean, of course, as you can tell, beauty and and most likely because he likes Halo a little bit more. So he'll probably. I said he'll.
Sorry, guys, we're from Kentucky.
Yeah.
If you couldn't tell already,
But he'll probably be favoring more Halo.
I got pros and cons of both. I mean,
Halo's a pussy game, regardless.
well, the only thing that I really hate about Halo was the fact that it seemed like in multiplayers there was one improvement after another, which was cool. But it's like, man, it just got so repetitive. Like, oh man, now I gotta learn something new for every multiplayer.
Yeah. See, I mean, the thing. I mean, I'm not gonna bash Halo multiplayer. I mean, Halo 3's multiplayer was amazing. I mean, that actually took skill.
Yeah, because you got the
So-
same guns. Like, okay, this team and that team, you got the same freaking guns. You know, there's no like faster reload. There's no red dot. But at the same time, you know, it's like, okay, well, you also had to know the layout of the level because the levels had guns laying around. As far as compared to Modern Warfare, what you got is what you got, which I kind of like as well.
See, I mean, with me, the reason I like Call of Duty, just the only reason I love Modern Warfare is custom classes.
I like the customization. The only thing that I hate about Halo is the fact the only thing you could customize was the armor. It's
Yeah.
cool, but it's like the only way you can customize it is if you level up.
But at the same time, it was also copying off Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Like Halo Reach, you know, all the credits.
Well, that was the only time that it ever happened. Yeah.
And the loadouts.
Yeah, that's true. Like the whole jetpack and the
Yeah.
armor lock and stuff like that.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, Halo's a good game. I mean, it really is. I mean, campaign, solid, everything else.
I would say Halo is one of those, like, if you're off in the fantasy land.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But Modern Warfare is more like, hey, this is like real life stuff that could actually happen. You know?
Which is the reason why they call it modern. Modern day. So, I mean, with me, the reason I like Modern Warfare, I mean, one, the kill streaks. Gotta love the kill streaks, man. I mean,
It's
kill
true.
streaks are amazing. Even though some of it is bullshit.
I mean, in Halo, you just had that one guy go,
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool. And then with Call of Duty, you had that whole, can't really describe it, but like you were always better than one other person. You know, there was no evenly matched weapons. Like, for instance, I could use an LMG.
And you have that douchebag who runs around with nothing but a shotgun.
Yeah.
From how far away? 50 yards.
Exactly. I mean, that was a part that actually pissed me off a little bit. But it makes Call of Duty just a little bit more expert-wise because, one, snipers.
True.
Snipers on Halo, they don't move. They do not move. They're snipers, and you're standing there holding it up, a heavy sniper, and it's not moving. You're just concentrating on one person.
That's true. And then on top of that, in Halo, you could either just crouch or stand. You don't
But,
have prone.
But in Call of Duty, you actually have to be an expert with that sniper. I mean, you have to learn how to calm your breath just like that, just to get that one kill, that one shot kill.
Yeah.
And with Halo, don't get me wrong, the snipers on Halo is actually pretty good. I mean, the whole...
I mean, everyone will always remember that game. You know, it's like red dot, boom, headshot.
Yeah, I mean, like in Call of Duty, there's no red dots.
Well, yeah, there is one red dot. There's the ACOG, and there's the zoom scope, and that's it. Well, they got the, no, they don't have the infrared for snipers, do they?
Yeah, it is. For the L9, well, the LM911.
Okay.
I think that's what it's called. I cannot remember.
You talking about the Black Ops sniper?
Yeah.
It's like LG and maybe yours.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you want to, like, you know, distance because we don't know the names of the guns, fine.
That's fine with us. We really don't care.
We just know it's a sniper rifle, but
then, like on Call
I'll
of
kick
Duty,
your ass with it regardless if I know the name of it or not.
like on Halo,
Actually, he would.
you have a rocket launcher. Call of Duty, you have a grenade launcher on your gun.
That's true. You got the grenade launcher in the gun, you got the China Light, you got RPG, the Strela, or whatever. You got the ones that can walk on the vehicle. The javelins. I like the
Javelins are amazing.
I can remember several games that I'll be playing. The guy's like running out there. He just wants to get that one guy to kill with the javelin.
See, one thing that made me mad, especially on Halo, with a regular weapon, how do you shoot down? Just wondering. Let's say someone has a Banshee. You're flying, you know, you're listening to some Guns N' Roses, you know, take me down to the paradise city, you know, that's
shoot it down. Shoot it down. GG, they're trying to shoot me down. GG, they're shooting me down.
But how are you going to take an assault rifle and literally shoot down a Banshee?
That was some poor engineering on the alien's part.
I mean, and I realize that comes from they're far away. That comes from an assault rifle.
And they
made
purple of all colors.
It's purple. We're not even going to get into that because that's like comparing unicorns to like dragons. You know, that's.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't mean sound gay. Unicorns are awesome.
But like on Call of Duty, it's almost like the only way you can actually take down an aircraft is with an LMG or an RPG.
Locked on. Yeah.
Exactly.
Or if they have, like, they have that perk of, like, that heavy machine gun. If you sit there and fire 200 rounds into it, but it's like, even you're, like, lightly hurting it.
Yeah, and it's not even doing anything. I mean, you might see a little.
My favorite part is whenever you have aircraft, when you first shoot at it, it'll shoot out the flares.
Yeah.
And you're like, son of a bitch!
See, that's another thing.
And then you get that kill assist, you're just like, oh, I want the full kill.
See, that's the thing I really liked about Halo, though. Because when you get that assist, you feel so proud of yourself.
Because you use nothing but like a weak-ass gun to
Now, the cool thing about Halo I love is always the coolest thing, except Halo Reach, okay? Halo Reach is, to me, is the most pussiest game that you can ever have, just because of this. In Halo 3, you had to fight to get the camo. That showed how good you were to get that power up.
Yeah, like we were hitting. Like, you had the overshoot and you had the camo.
Yeah.
Like, you had to actually earn your way to it, not just be like, oh, he booted.
Even though I did say I go with Halo on this, with if you had the invisibility and all that, you could still be seen on the radar if you got off and ran. See, on Call of Duty, if you use, what was it, Ghost, you couldn't be seen.
Unless, like, you saw them on the map, and by then it's usually too late because it's like, hey, it's...
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the only thing that made me mad about Modern Warfare. I mean, there's a lot of things that made me... We're not going to go...
Hot daddy.
I like that you use, a guy daddy for it. But, wow, Arnold.
Actually, you know how it goes? It's like...
I don't know if you ever felt like this, but when you're playing Call of Duty, you feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, if you're like on like an 11 kill streak, everybody gets in the chopper, you want to Exactly, like when you get that chopper gunner, dude, let's say it's in a care package. You bring out that heavy machine gun, everybody, get down! I mean, in Halo, you can't even feel like that. In Halo, you're like, well,
I'm the Master Chief, I'm the Master Chief.
You're just like, hey, you. Yeah, see, that's the cool thing about Call of Duty. I mean, you're with your weapon, you can... wrong too, man. But on Halo Reach, this is the most pathetic thing. Like when you're running,
The jumping around.
like the jumping, like you're running like this is when you jump, you do the gayest jump. Like you're running, you just go, yes. It's like you're jumping like into like a cloud of unicorns and like little sprinkles.
I mean, honestly, if I was running at full speed and I jumped, my arms would be doing this. I'd be like,
Yes. Like in Call of Duty, when you jump, okay, granted, your gun still stays there. But at the same time, when you jump, you go,
and then when you fall, you're like, oh, yeah. And here, you're like, whatever.
no, see, I do give
I'm
credit.
motherfucking not cheap.
I give credit to where credit's due in Halo, because Master Chief is the shit. Even though he has no powers, nothing, he's lucky.
He's like the
That's
Dalmatian monkey.
Now, to me, I think Call of Duty is more for, in my opinion, more for expert type players. Just because, I mean,
I have to admit, like, I played the Halo multiplayer for a long time, and I found it to be not really childish, but sort of like a mediocre. Like,
Yeah.
okay, here we are. You ever seen an episode of Red vs. Blue where it's like the red and the blue, and they're like, yeah, and they died, and they died. That's like all that Halo was. But with Modern Warfare, it was like literally, okay, you have no idea what these guys' skills are.
Exactly.
And you're like, either the first 5 minutes, you're like, oh, we're getting raped.
See, that's the thing, like in Call of Duty, the reason I think it's more for expert, because you have so many things that's going on. Like, you have airstrikes coming in, you have Apaches coming in.
Well, the
you
same,
have, like,
same thing
moves.
too is the tables could turn at any minute.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
And when you get those kill streaks, dude, like that's what messes you up. Because
It really turns the tide, yeah.
And with everything that goes on in Call of Duty, that's why I think Halo is more mediocre.
Yeah,
Mediocre, just like what you said.
so, more or less, in this fight, it's a non-ending, you know, there's pros and cons, but ultimately, time is up.
Time.
Meaning, okay, well, okay, time's up, so, you know, we can continue this another time, but you pretty much got the basis of like, what we think.
So, why don't you tell us what you think?
Leave us comments, subscribe always, and again, always check out for a new video. Alright, I'm Travis.
I'm Andrew.
This is ThegamingNERDZ1.
I was caught in the middle of the railroad track.
Go.